Hello and welcome to Let's Review, and Christmas is over. Yeah, it's Boxing Day now. Still, nothing wrong with Boxing Day. Boxing Day is a great day. It's the time you actually get to enjoy all the stuff you got at Christmas. Martin, for example, got a new shirt. That I did, and I will certainly admit that it fits better around the collar. So, with Christmas over, we're approaching the new year, and that's usually a time for reflection. It's a chance to look back over the previous year and think about the good and the bad. So this week, I'm going to stay positive. I'm going to focus on the best games that I played and covered for this show. There's a lot of other good games came out this year, but it's not eligible for this list unless I did a full Let's Play series and a review for this show. Fair enough? Okay then, so next week you'll get the bad list. Oh, and while I remember, just because a game came out sometime other than last year, it's still eligible to appear on this list if I covered it last year. Well, that is something of a stretch, is it not? Yeah, but lists like this always have to have arbitrary rules, it's fine. So, with all that out of the way, let's begin at the top with the 5th best game that I covered on this show. Babylon 5, I've Found Her. As I stated in my review, I am a big fan of Babylon 5, and I'll freely admit that contributes to the reasons why I love this game. But with that said, I Found Her is still a damn good space combat game. The only reason that I can't justify placing it higher on this list is that it is very, very short. Though given that it's a fan-made project that's available for free download, I can't really complain about that too much. At the end of the day, I'm hoping that eventually we get that second campaign that's been promised to us, even though not much progress seems to have been made in the last few years. That being said though, what's there is absolutely worth playing and is really, really enjoyable. I would absolutely recommend you check it out, especially given that it's available completely free of charge. Serious Sam BFE. You know, I ummed and ahed a lot over whether or not to actually include Serious Sam BFE on this list, because my review of it was pretty critical. There was a lot of stuff that I pointed out and complained about, but honestly, the stuff that it does well, it does do really, really well, and there's a certain level of visceral enjoyment that you just can't get from many other games. That being said, I really did like bits of it, and honestly, I think BFE is worth checking out. It's got one of the best soundtracks I've heard in a long, long time. It's got some really spectacular moments. And honestly, since it's now available at a markedly reduced price, I think it's probably worth checking out. Bound by Flame. I've got to be honest, I was not expecting to like this game very much when I started playing it. The reviews that I'd read were kind of mixed, and overall, most people seem to reckon it was simply okay. When I played it, though, I found it to be a really solid, really enjoyable action RPG with a damn good combat system and an awful lot of enjoyable gameplay. It also has one of the best crafting systems that I've ever seen. Now, does that mean it's without flaws? Of course not. It's got quite a few problems. But I still think it's absolutely worth playing. And it's definitely worth playing any game that could do this to me.
Oh, hell yes. Oh.
Yeah, I don't think I'm ever going to get tired of that clip. When I was drawing up this list, I knew that one of two games was going to be getting this spot. And they're both made by Winter Wolves. Yeah, it was pretty much inevitable they were going to end up on this list somewhere, wasn't it? Choosing between these two, however, was actually really difficult, because Loren the Amazon Princess is technically the inferior game. Seasons of the Wolf definitely has the better combat system, the gameplay overall was improved, but I think I prefer Loren the Amazon Princess. So I've got to give this to Loren. In my opinion, Loren just has the better story and it's more fun to play. Now that's not saying Seasons of the Wolf has a bad story or isn't fun, that's completely untrue. I just prefer Loren. At the end of the day, it's a damn good story with a really excellent combat system, and it's just an awful lot of fun. Check it out, you won't regret it. You know, if you could travel back to the beginning of this year and ask me what I would expect to put on this list, I would not have been able to predict this one. A game made by a relatively small studio on a budget of about 44 grand and released to the public for free. Ladies and gentlemen, Sunrider. I've always said that a really good story can make up for weak gameplay mechanics, but it's really nice to see a studio understand that a truly great game needs both. And Sunrider absolutely has both. It uses a relatively standard science fiction premise as a jumping off point to tell a really good, really engaging story with some really fantastic moments in it. And on the gameplay side, the tactical combat is engaging, it's challenging, and it's really, really satisfying when you succeed. Overall, Sunrider is just a fantastic experience, and I look forward to the third and final part with a great deal of anticipation. I absolutely recommend you check it out, and since it's available for free download, you have absolutely no reason not to. A reasonable choice, I suppose. So glad you approve. And that is it for the best of 2014 list. Next week, the worst games that I covered on this show in 2014. Now, if you'll excuse me, we have an awful lot of leftover turkey sandwiches to get through. I will see you later.